Now, religious leaders, of which you're one, also have a role in all of this. Nigeria is one of, admittedly, the most religious countries. I mean, where you see people, the traffic on Fridays and on Sundays for the two main religions. So religious leaders also hold a great deal of power. A lot of it below the surface, but it's there. And increasingly these days, more of it is actually out there. And it's now, do you think, apart from the fact that I want to know if you think they've wielded that power for good, do you think that religion as a base for wielding of power, because it is power, also serves the cause of democracy?
Look, let me tell you, I mean, how did communism collapse?
Well, in many places it was religion, actually. It was religious leaders who
beginning from Poland.
That's right.
You see, once the institutions of, I mean, religion is supposed to be a means of refining society. What you call religious leaders, by whatever shape or form, I'm not happy that I am sitting here. People say I'm a religious leader and they rely on me for. No, we as a priest, what I was, and I always say to people, you know, when people say to me, you know, you are very political, I say, listen, this country, ask everybody who is in power today, from president right now, the test question is, where were you in 1995 up to 1998 when Abacha was in power? That's the measure where anybody was. So when people talk to me about politics, about religious leaders and so on, I said, listen, Matthew Hassan Kukah, I have paid my dues. Okay? And I don't need any lessons from anybody about what the role of religion should be in society. But I have studied and I also understand that religion is a vital tool of legitimation for every leader. The only thing that politicians want is they are just interested in a religious leader who is standing as a member of the praying wing of their party. Now, if you say, how do we deploy that power? The only thing is that the power by religious leaders is a default button. It's not something that we should be proud of, let me put it that way, because it is actually evidence of the dysfunction of the state. Because if the state were functioning, every person, I get young people coming to me and they say to me, Bishop, I have just graduated, please bless my NYSC certificate. What am I supposed to bless your certificate for?
So that
I'm going to write an exam, please bless my pen. The point I'm making is, at a rational level, I can say to them, this NYSC, what do I need to bless it for? But because the state of the Nigerian state is severely malfunctioning and has not created a condition by which a young man with a first-class degree can be sure of getting a job, everything that happens to a Nigerian now, including surviving an accident or including surviving in the hospital, is thank God. Nobody ever thanks the Nigerian state for doing anything because it has, the last time we checked, it had done nothing for us. So for me, all these things people talk about the influence of religious leaders. Who are the most influential religious leaders in America? Who are the most influential religious leaders in Europe and other parts of the world? How is it that is only in this environment is a measure of the inefficiency of the state that is probing up all these identities? Because in reality, we are non-state actors. We are non-state actors. But you have politicians who are not prepared to do the hard work. And they visit the house of every traditional ruler seeking endorsement and seeking instead of going out to the people to canvass for votes. But the rational part of our brain has switched off. So for me, it's not a question of what role religion should play. Our responsibility, we are first primarily citizens. And I consider myself a public intellectual. I therefore know the limits of my participation and engagement in the politics of Nigeria. But as to the social question and to what drives governance, we must have that conversation. The only luck I have in Nigeria is that after over 30 years, I have associated with people who were very fond of me when they were driven out of this country and they were in exile. They were hailing me for speaking and standing up for them. They came back. They've now in power. they look at me and they say, Bishop, you don't like us again, no? Because now bread is on their side. I'm now supposed to be an enemy of... But I know that the wheels will soon turn. So I think every religious leader must have a certain level of consistency in what our strong points are and what our convictions are. Because we need and we have a responsibility of offering the world a moral compass. Not because we are better, because we have to have a way of seeing things differently.
You took some criticism over the role you played with the reconciliation between former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the PDP presidential candidate now, Atiku Abubakar. And there were those who were saying, actually, you should leave the peace committee because you had shown partisanship. There are those who, even from what you said in this interview, will also reach certain conclusions. Now, is there a dividing line with all of this? Because I know that in your defense, there are those who have said that, look, if you are invited to come and do something like that, there is a moral and spiritual side of it, then there is the political side. And you can actually participate in that moral and spiritual side without the politics.
No, I think, look, I'm 43 years a priest this year. Okay, so I'm not a spring chicken. I have had over 30 years of active engagement in this country. I've only God and my conscience to live with. So I really, frankly, the more people criticize me, and again, this country has been fair to me. I've been writing consistently, delivering for over 30 years. But the amount of approval and appreciation that I received, on average, will be 98% or 99%. As for where, I'm not a politician. I remember I resolved the problem between a man and his wife. And guess what happened? The angriest person was the lawyer, who was already processing procedure for divorce. I took bread from his mouth. You see, there are people who thrive in conflict, and they are entrepreneurs. They make a lot of money out of it. There are people who would like to see a fight continue because it makes them relevant. There are people who were abusing Buhari a few years ago. Now Buhari is president. They are prepared to lie down before Buhari and let Buhari walk over them. And if Buhari stops being president tomorrow, the phone would not ring. I know this well enough. But as I said, the more I am criticized, frankly, the better I feel. I'm not looking for adulation or approval. I have very strong convictions, and I speak about them. I'm a citizen of this country. I care about how this country is organized. I am impatient because I'm convinced we could do better. Maybe people had some emotional investment in the conflict between between Atiku and Obasanjo. But I have, if I know you, I try my best. When two of my friends are having a problem and there's something I can do about it, I will take the step. I will do my best. Some have been successful, some are still in the works. But as a priest, it's my deep and personal conviction. And like I said to Obasanjo, jokingly, I'm not interested in Atiku's politics. And all this over 3, 4, 5 years we're talking about this. I never for one day mentioned anything to Atiku that this is what, because I didn't think Atiku, whatever it may have been his own fault, I didn't know what it was, but President Obasanjo was the one at the top. And I had seen Atiku go to Ota to say, I'm sorry. So for me, it was Atiku. That's the one that is public. And it's public because of the politics of it. But nobody is prepared to talk about other things, which I'm not even myself prepared to talk about. What I'm saying is, every priest, by virtue of our vocations, we're in the business of dealing with these problems day in and day out. Doesn't have to be president, doesn't have to be presidential candidate, but this is the job we've been given. And as I said, I do it with no apology to anybody, because I know that my critics today will probably be too ashamed to look for my help. But if I know that they are in trouble and I can help, I'll be more than happy to do it. But I don't want to say I'm not interested in the politics, but I know that one or two friends of mine say, but some people are already invested in this conflict. You come put sand for our gari. But that's the business that we have to face every day.
Bishop, thank you so very much for speaking with us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.